Good morning, amazing moms. This is Karla Marie here for our, 14th day of Mom Spiration. I hope you have been enjoying this series. We have just a few more days to go, and then I'll let you know what we have planned next. But so excited to share this with you today. This is one of my favorite. And the 14th Mom Spiration this morning is let them see you fight. Let them see you fight. Now, I'm not talking about, duking it out with anybody. I'm not talking about, rumbling or wrestling or, taking somebody out in the natural, right? I'm not talking about that. But our kids need to see us fight. They need to see us fight for what we believe in, fight for what we stand for. They need to see us fight for them, fight for ourselves and a better life. They need to see us fight for our dreams. One of the things that I dislike the most, one of the sayings that I dislike the most of this current generation is Snowflake. I don't like that because it's like discounting an entire generation. And how can you do that and not look at yourself when it comes to calling a kid a snowflake? If you're a parent, then it's our responsibility to instill, work ethic and fight and, endurance and discipline, as we parent our children and throughout their young lives. And so I just don't like that term. And I refuse to call my children a snowflake. I believe that they have it in them to fight for what it is that God called them to do. And how do they see that example in their mom and dad? That's what we're talking about today. We need to let them see us fight. Let them see us go for things that are hard and fight until we accomplish them. Go for things that are challenging, knowing how to move through a challenge with grace and with stamina and discipline without folding, without cracking. That doesn't mean that you won't have moments of weakness. It doesn't mean that you won't need other people in the process. It doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do everything on your own and be Wonder Woman or Superman. It simply means that you have it in you to fight. And sometimes, if our children see us doing it, it kind of builds something up on the inside of them. I think about my mom. I think about the fact that she fought really, really hard to give my sister and I, although I am one of 7 children, my sister and I are the only ones that lived with my mom. And she fought really, really hard to give us the best life that she possibly could with very little to work with when it comes to finances, when it comes to support, when it comes to encouragement. She fought hard. She fought hard for her own dreams. They may have seemed delayed. She graduated from college at 58, not because she wanted a new career, but because it was something she always wanted to do, and she finally accomplished that. I think about the fact that she was an inventor. She has a patented invention. There are certain things that my mom's profile, dealing with mental illness, dealing with poverty, dealing with growing up the way that she did, and it just really says something to me and has always said something to me, the things that she has accomplished against the odds. And she instilled that fight in us, in her girls and my brother. And I think it says a lot to our kids when they're able to see us move through situations and move through life with grace and with perseverance and prayer and determination to win, whatever winning looks like in whatever situation you're thinking about. You know what I mean? When it comes to health, when it comes to your household and finances, when it comes to the dreams that you're trying to pursue, Our kids learn so much by seeing that fight in us, that fire in our eyes that will not quit until we get to the finish line. They learn that, and it becomes part of their DNA, who they are. And so our kids need to see that. They need to see us fight. There have been times in my life as a parent where I wanted to fold. I've been through things that you would not believe. And I wanted to fold, crumble, curl up in the corner. But I knew somebody was watching. I knew they were watching me. And I knew that what I did in that moment of challenge, what I did, how I spoke out of my mouth, how I responded, how I acted, how I moved forward would totally show them how to move through the world themselves. And as much as I wanted to curl up, as much as I wanted to feel sorry for myself, as much as I wanted to give up, in whatever circumstance that it was, was determined not to do that because they were watching. And I wanted them to be a warrior as well. I wanted them to be able to move through circumstances without being taken out, so to speak. Our kids learn a lot from that. I learned a lot from my mother in that regard. I've learned a lot from my father in that regard. I come from two very determined, very, very strong-willed, very, they have a high perseverance level people. And I see my sister, I love you, Nicole. She knows what I'm talking about. I come from some real strong stock, and I'm sure that you ladies do as well. And there are probably, we can all say things in our childhood that we're not perfect. But I guarantee there are some things that you can take away from your parents that will do you well, in walking those things out and observing, what things were positive. Everything can be negative, right? But I saw my parents fight. I saw them fight in completely different ways, of course, but I was so blessed by it. And, sometimes we don't see it until we're an adult. You may be living, life in front of your kids right now, and they may seem like nothing you say and nothing you do is worth listening to. But trust me, they are paying very close attention to how you respond to life, how you respond to challenges, how do you respond to celebrations, how you respond to everything. And they're kind of downloading those skills as they watch and move through life with you. And so letting them see you fight, letting them see that determination in your heart and in your mind and in your actions can make all the difference as they grow and they mature and they go for the things that they dream of. So how do you inspire them? By fighting, by letting them see you fight for what you believe in and for what you stand for and for what you love, fighting for them. They know you're in their corner, fighting for your marriage. Yes, live out loud in front of them, exactly. It's so important for our kids to see that. So that is our 14th Mom Spiration this morning. Let them see you fight. Get that fight and make sure that your kids understand that they can make it through anything and they can reach their goals if they stick with it and they are determined. All right, so I will see you ladies tomorrow. I hope that you have a fantastic day and toodles.